Hello, Wayne Barron, Dr. Fx TV, here to bring you the part 3 of our tutorial that started out with the removing my son from the background and then putting him on a green screen, and then which was part 1. Part 2 was making putting fire behind his eye and around the pupil area. And so now we are at our, I don't know what year this house is. I'm saying probably 1940ish, somewhere around that time period. But what we're going to do to this is that we're going to remove every piece of crevice that should be able to see through the house. For an example, we've got the window right here. We can remove it, but keeping in mind that we want to keep our pine straw that you can see here, and keep the little bitty small areas like the framing of the window. This is a whole piece of glass, so we want to keep it there. But anything that's broken, we want to be able to remove it so that we can see through it. And then any lines or anything you can go through here. You got this area right up in here, right there, that can be removed. You just got all sorts of areas right here at this door, running down the door frame. We can remove it from the background around this door frame. This looks like a screen maybe, and so it can be removed from here. So let's zoom in and see what we've got. So yeah, this is an old screen, so you got these areas here that we can remove, and yeah, right here at this old screen it can be removed as well. And little bitty areas here. It's a very time consuming deal, but having a very high megapixel image, you can zoom in really close to where you can actually get into these areas and start removing them. So let's go ahead and do that now. And how we're going to do that is that we've got ourselves a green screen in the background. So to create our green screen, you just create a new layer, and then on that layer we go over here to our paint bucket, and then we choose green, and then we put in our green. Okay, and then that gives us our green background. And so I've already got one here, so we'll just go ahead and keep that. So now we will go over here to the eraser tool. Now you got the eraser tool, background eraser tool, and magic eraser. Just keep it on the eraser tool, and then it depends on how close you want to get into your image. If you can get in really close to it, then around 11 would be good for your size of your eraser brush. So you can just start in different areas, and first make sure that you click on the house and not the background. So let's click on the house and let's try this again. And it looks like our background has moved. So let's move our background back down where it's supposed to be at. Go back to this one and click on eraser, and just go through and find different areas in the picture and just start using your eraser tool to remove different areas. And the tricky part is over here at the window. Okay, the window, we've got all this pine straw and everything. Now this is the tricky part. But what you do is that you start out and just work in between all of the pieces of pine straw that you see. And like I said, this is extremely time consuming, especially if you want to make it look really good. It will take you a long time to finish it up. And so just work your way through it, and but as you can see over here in my palette area, I've got several different stages that I've already gone through. And so to look at the different stages here, so taking this image here and going through stage of having everything removed that I wanted to remove, which is showing every little bitty crevice that I could find, is right here. And as you can see, we've got all these little areas here, this little tiny fine areas that we've gone through. And as you can see, the pine straw here, some areas may not be as perfect as I wanted them to be, but still we got the pine straw here that's still remaining. Sort of messed up a little bit on the trimming here, but whenever the picture is done, you're not really going to notice that. And you can see up here this little bitty area here, and as you can see, little bitty fine details. And then you just get in as many details as you want, depending on what you're wanting to do with the image. And what I'm wanting to do with the image is I'm wanting to put like a fire in the background, and then have this barely see fire coming through the background, and then take the picture of my son and then have him come through this window here, almost like a ghost type reflection. And that is what we're after. So let's zoom out here. And for those that didn't catch my first two tutorials, to zoom in you hit Control and the plus, or Control and the minus to zoom out. And so this is well, let's move that up. This is my son right here, this image here. And what I've done is that I've taken his larger image and brought it down so that he's almost see-through. Okay, almost like a ghostly spirit, made him almost see-through. And then what we're going to do with that is that, well, let's show you the rest of it. We've got some fire here, which as you can tell, it's taken from a grill. As you can see the grill right here. As a matter of fact, there's a couple of steaks right there. So, but anyway, this makes for some really good fire composites. And we've copied this and moved it over here as well. This is the outer part of the house, or the left part of the house, and this right here is around the window area. And then as you bring it up, remove that part. We also had to make a black background to get rid of the little square dots there, so that's our black background. And as you can see, it changes everything. Okay, then we take and bring our son in, or bring my son into it, and there he is right there. Now looking from far away, it almost looks like there's a spirit in the window. So that is the effect that I was after. And like I said, I mean, just you start off with your house, and then you start working your way through and adding in, removing out different areas like we did here, until you get to this stage. And once you have everything removed out of it that you want, it's best to add in a black background. And to add in a black background, you create a new layer, and then choose the paint bucket, and then I got a right around this area, I believe that's what I've got, and then you click OK, and then you just paint it in yonder. And they look almost the same, so it would be something like this right here. Let's see here. Okay, nah. Okay, my first one is blacker, so I'm going to stick with the black one. And then the fire, we could add in some more fire to really stand out in this picture, to have it coming down here. We need some fire right down in this area, so let's bring open that, and let's duplicate the layer, and then let's first move this one up to about here, and then take this one. Gonna have to stop doing that, and move this one down to here, but we also need to resize it. Let's just stretch it out across the entire bottom here. And then we've got the larger this gets, the longer it takes to render it out in Photoshop. So I'll be right back with this as soon as it gets finished rendering. Okay, I'm back. It wasn't a rendering issue, I forgot to apply my changes. So always remember that whenever you're going to scale your image, you have to apply your changes before you can do anything else. So mistake on my part, but hey, that's what we're here to do, right? Learn, teach our own mistakes. So now we've got this image here, which we're going to put about right there. So let's bring this one down so that it's on top, actually right there. And then we've got this image. I don't really want to mess with it because I've got it set exactly where I want it at, with my son sitting here with that fire spike right there, which looks really good coming in from that side. So now that we've got that added in, let's add in our black. We can see it a lot better now. And then there we go. So we've got the bottom. We can set. And now you got the fire coming in through here, and it almost looks like lava, or since this is a ghost house with fire all over it, this could be a hell house. So we've got some fire coming in there, we've got fire coming in here, but we don't have none there at the door. So we're going to stretch out this one, and bring it to about right there. Apply our changes, and then let's bring it in. There we go. Now we got the fire right here coming around the door. And there we go. See, we got the fire in all of our crevices. We got the fire coming in right through the top here. It's not too much, it's not too overbearing. It just adds a little, I don't know, demonic feel to it, so to speak. There's certain areas like right up in here that didn't quite get the fire, but that can be added in a little bit later. So then we just add my son in here, and there you go. And this is a demonic house, sort of a black and white with fire and ghost image. Now the we can bring him down just a little bit more and have him actually fill into the fire right here. Now that actually that looks a lot better there. So as you can see, it's almost like the fire is building into him. So I don't know, sometimes my son acts like a demon, so I reckon this would be his demon picture. So anyway, Wayne Barron here for Dark Effects TV, and I hope that you enjoyed this set of tutorials. Once again, check out the first part of this and then the second part, and which on the second part there's fire coming in through his eye right here, but you cannot really see it in this particular image. And so I'll end up doing something else with it a little bit later on, and adding it up to YouTube as well. So y'all enjoy, and once again, Wayne Barron, Dark Effects TV. Don't forget to subscribe and keep in touch. Thank you. Have a rocking weekend.